Cindy Eyler, and I know that the screen looks semi-distorted, probably completely distorted. It's really interesting. I asked you on Facebook tonight what you wanted me to talk about, and I gave a list of different topics, and the one that was the most popular was about the underground people of Mount Shasta. So I really was just, because I'm going to be talking about them, I actually wanted to call in the energies of the underground people. I wanted to call in the energies of Mount Shasta. And the energies of Mount Shasta in general are a mix of many different types of energies that really go into one big power-packed, amazing mountain. So, it's the indigenous Indians. There was many tribes that were around there. But also, I just want to tap into the pure energy of the mountain. So as you're seeing the screen kind of distorting, I keep saying kind of, it's totally distorting. It's because of the energy that I'm channeling in. So you're actually seeing the energy of the underground people and the energy of Mount Shasta. And there's also other energies that are here enjoying the talk. Now, one thing I noticed when I put up that other video the other night about the aliens, the topic about the aliens maybe landing on August 4th, 2012, or at the closing ceremonies of the Olympics, I noticed my voice, like my throat was really kind of raspy, and now that's happening to me again tonight, and I'm like, no, please give me my voice. I can't stand hearing that kind of, like, I don't know, it's raspy. But I realize that when that happens, that I'm in channeling mode, that energies are wanting to talk through me, and it affects my voice. So excuse that, it's bothering me. But anyway, I just set the tone for the energy transmission that you're actually receiving just by watching and participating in this video. So you don't even really have to look at the video. You can close your eyes and listen and just feel the energies as they're transmitting to you. This is a transmission of energies from Mount Shasta and the inner earth of Telos, and connecting with inner earth as well as I'm hearing the galaxies and the dimensions that connect with Shasta. So we won't go into the whole alien thing because you guys didn't pick that subject, but they're very connected to Mount Shasta, and I will talk a little bit about them in this. But let's talk about the underground people. So you can definitely Google any of this or read books. I am purely going off of the knowledge of my experience of dealing with them. So, there's no point in me talking about other people's experiences. You can hear that from them. I will tell you that as far back as the 1800s, people were receiving messages from the underground people. I find that amazing. I don't know why, but it is. Also, it's been said that they are Lemurians that first occupied the inner earth, and my intuition tells me that could be true. But I feel like it's evolved over time. So, it just depends on who's up for that sort of journey. And I'm really going to take my time talking about this. I'm not actually limited to 15 minutes or 10 minutes on YouTube. They give me as long as I want. So I'm just feeling like I do this whole talk just feel the energies that are flowing to you, because they are definitely with us. So I just want to tell you a little bit about how I learned about, well, they call it Telos. And I don't even know if that's true. That's just what people call it, so everybody calls it that. And I'm the kind of person, if you ever studied with me in any of my classes, that, I hear about what other people's experiences are, but I always go off my own first. And is it Telos? Well, that's what people call it, so that's fine. So I just call it the underground cities, the underground people. That's what I call it. And years ago, I just started learning about all these different amazing things, aliens, underground people. I mean, just these topics were coming up one after another, as we wake up on our paths and we're ready for information. It comes to us whether we're seeking it or not. And I wasn't necessarily seeking it, but I don't remember how exactly I came up with the underground people. But when I first did, I started thinking, wow, that's incredible that they could be there. And what really drew my attention to it is that they come in and out of the mountain. They don't just stay inside of the mountain. Well, many of them do. And to my channelings, my experience, I feel like they prefer to be inside the mountain rather than outside, but they do come out to get supplies or jog. I've actually seen underground people a few times, and they're usually jogging. It's kind of funny. And so friends of mine have spotted them even at the New Living Expo where we had our booth. I didn't see them, but anyway, it's not uncommon for them not to be around. And when you're in Shasta, there's a good chance that you might even see one. I mean, we've seen them there when we're doing our Mount Shasta journeys. So they're real human people. And there are portals and actual physical doorways, and I'm sure, dimensional doorways that come in and out of the mountain. And I have heard, and I have to say that I resonate with this information, that the government was going in and out of there. And they got tired of them going in there, so they really covered up their entryways so it's not so easy to find them. And so these entryways can be anywhere in the mountain. And anyway, so they can come in and out. Now, it's definitely a moneyless society down there, which I am really hoping for our new world will be that. And they're very healthy people. They are vegetarians. They grow vegetables down there. And I have been told, and I have even experienced it, that they live also off of high vibration, the crystal energy down there, and light. And so you'd say light on the inner earth. Yes, I see a lot of light on the inner earth. So it's just a pure, clean energy there. And so what do these people look like? I mean, you might hear that they wear certain clothes and they look certain ways. I've seen them looking different ways, but usually their characteristics that I've seen is that they are tall, and they've got usually tan colored skin, and they're very healthy, and physically fit. They like to take care of their bodies. They like to run, and they're just healthy beings and very at peace and happy. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about that later. But when I have seen them, the first time I actually spotted one was I had just finished teaching a Theta Healing class, and one of my students had come from, yikes, I don't even know where she came from. I want to say Wisconsin, but I don't know. And I told her I was going to take her to Muir Woods. And so we went the day after class finished, and we were hiking. And we had hiked up the mountain, up the path at Muir Woods. and we were going down this back pathway, and it had been raining, so the path was really like it was wet, and there was a lot of areas where the tree roots were actually sticking out, so it was kind of hard to walk on it. Like you had to kind of hold on to the tree and walk around it. So we were going down a path just like that, so it wasn't like an easy paved path, and it was kind of downhill, and we were holding on to the trees trying to get over these big slippery roots. And as I was just telling her about the underground people, and that, they come out sometimes, and wouldn't it be cool to see one? And as we're walking, it wasn't even 5 minutes after I said that comment, it was probably 2 minutes, we hear somebody running, but it's like this really fast-paced, constant, even pace, like, and it was coming really fast, so we were like, whoa, we kind of looked at each other like, who could possibly be like running that fast on this terrain? So we kind of just stepped out of the way because we could hear it was coming. And sure enough, this man came flying by us and never even like stopped for a second, just was running. And that was not like I said, the terrain was dangerous, it was slippery, it was uneven, there were tree roots coming up and like wet. And he just flew right by like it was totally paved and even, like no problem, and going at a very fast pace, never broke his pace, didn't seem even affected by us standing there, and the path was not that wide, very skinny. And I'm seeing things flying in my room now. We looked at each other like, wow, how could they possibly do that? Like it was a trip. And then all of a sudden I looked at her again. I said, oh my gosh, that was an underground person. And we were both like floored, like, oh my gosh, we totally knew it was an underground person. And he fit that description: tall, tan skin, very fit. Like no regular person could have been running like that. It was just like not possible. So that was so major cool that, we just asked, and he was there. Now, Muir Woods is very magical. It's the home of the Redwoods in Northern California, across the bridge, Golden Gate Bridge from San Francisco in Marin. And it's really magical there. So, you're in that magic, and you just say it would be cool to see an underground person, and look how easy it manifests. This guy comes running by. So that was really cool. And another time later on, I was doing Saturday meditation and nature classes. And we were hiking in Muir Woods again this time. And this time we were hiking a different trail, but we had hiked way up, and we're going over the rim of the top of the mountain, and it was like this really long, tiring hike. But we were just walking, and we mentioned the underground people. I don't remember what we were talking about. And within seconds, this man comes running by. And this time, and we knew it was an underground person again. And this time he was an older man, but very physically fit. He was running, not super tall, but we just totally knew that he was an underground person. And then he was coming towards us, so coming from the way that we were heading towards. And when we saw the terrain that he had come up through, there's no way, like, to have the energy and stamina to do that jog, and in the condition he was and the age he was, it was just totally obvious that, this is not like a normal person. So, and then we've seen them a couple times in Shasta when we were doing our Shasta journeys, just in random places. So they usually come out to buy supplies, and since they don't have money, they're usually trading gold, or somehow they trade a lot to get whatever they need. Now, they don't really need a lot of stuff down there, but I guess they need something. I don't know. Anyway, so it is possible to see them, and You just have to notice. You just have to keep your eyes open. Now, why are they down there? You know, I'm getting chills now. Before I had this experience last year in Shasta that I'm going to tell you about, I just thought they were down there because it was really high vibrational. It was a peaceful place. They lived within community. They weren't bothered by, they could be on Earth but not be bothered by the government and having to be a puppet citizen and abide by all the laws and rules. And I'm not saying laws and rules are a bad thing, but you know, I don't want to even go into the government thing because it's not pretty and it's manipulative, and they're not here for our highest good in the end. So I won't go into that. But, you know, they're living a pretty dang good life down there. They have high technology, much higher than we have. They have interaction between the star beings, aliens, and they're really vibrating at higher levels. It's almost like, you know, they're human, but they also have this high vibration where they can interact with higher dimensions in the etheric. And I really totally feel like they have mastered being able to be in a human body, but also almost to the point like it could be like considered a shapeshifter, where they know how to be in their physical body because they have one, but they also know how to shift into a light body as well and really be in that space. And, you know, to tell you the truth, I don't know if they die. Actually, I just heard they do. Because it just feels like they could just be eternally like that. But what I'm hearing is they want to ascend and transform as well. They don't just want to stay in that space of living there forever. I mean, that's not their idea of being in their ultimate divinity. So that being said, I really get the message that their purpose for themselves down there is also for ascension, to grow and ascend, become lighter, remember who they are. And who are we? We are all part of the divine, God, Source, Allah, whoever you want to call your higher power, which is all love. So they're working on their ascension and at higher levels and actually helping a lot of people that live on Earth, on top of Earth, on the surface. They certainly help us with light activation healing. They're part of their area down there is part of our healing system, where we actually go for meetings and other things. So anyway, they're here for the greater good for sure. Now, last year, I was so blessed. I mean, how do I meet these people? Just nothing's a coincidence. I met somebody actually on Facebook, and it was just a coincidental type of meeting. I mean, we met through raw food, actually. And I just saw, when he asked me to be his friends, I saw that he lived in McLeod. And I just wrote to him and I said, wow, you live in McLeod. When I go on my Mount Shasta journeys, I take my participants there to go to the falls. There's 3 beautiful falls in McLeod. And he said, oh, wow, that's, you know, so great. And he wanted to send me some information on Shasta. He asked me if I had been to different places and that he was mentioning, and some of them I knew and some I didn't. So he wanted to send me that information, and he wanted to just help me with some really other cool places. So I was like, wow, this guy's really nice. So then he asked me, have you ever been to the underground caves? And I said, no, where? And but I had been to some underground tunnels and some caves, but what he was describing was more inner earth. And he said, oh, behind, this area by the waterfalls, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I've never been there. So anyway, long story short, he took us there. And it's really, I mean, talk about hidden entryways. It's very hidden. You're not going to just go there and find this place. And so we went there and we climbed in, and we were going deeper into inner earth, and it was really powerful because it's actually kind of to the side, going in behind, not directly behind the waterfall, but very close. And you could hear the waterfall pounding on the outside. But going within earth, it was like, just feel it. I'm channeling that energy to you now. It was mystical. I don't know what is the word. I don't know if it's not magical. It was like a completely different energy. So you're climbing down in between. It's like rocks, like big, huge boulders, and you're kind of going in, and you're going in deeper, and you're climbing through this hole and getting into this bigger opening, and then maybe going down through there and going down as far as you really want. And my first thought was, besides that it was totally cool and like, oh my God, we're going in the inner earth. I can't believe this. Something that I had, really wanted to do for so many years. It was also like, okay, you know what? Anybody could go for this journey to the inner earth. Now that we know an opening to go in, we could definitely go for that journey. Take that journey all the way down into inner earth. Okay? Very easily. And I was talking to the people that were with us, and I was telling them this, exactly what I'm telling you now. That we can go in, but you better be ready for if you really want to do this. Because if you're going in, you could go in and you don't know how long you're going to be in. Or how you're going to get out. I mean, mentally and emotionally and spiritually, you got to be ready for a journey like that. Because once you start climbing through those rocks and going deeper and deeper, number one, are you going to find your way out? Okay, number one, will you even, what if you don't? What if you couldn't find your way back out? Okay, so emotionally, how would that affect you? Mentally, how would that affect you? And not only that, when you start dealing with these kind of things where you're going into other dimensions and going through other dimensional doorways, nothing looks the same. And you start taking a journey of the inner soul. And you take that journey of the inner soul, you're transforming real time into something completely different. And you are dealing more with you've got to come from more of a spirit level, a soul level than a human mental level. Because if you went in on a human mental level, just like, oh, I'm going to go do this thing, it could be one of your biggest nightmares or turn out to be something that you weren't expecting to deal with. So you want to go in there and first of all, when you go in, and what we experienced just in the bit that we did was it really brings you inside. When you're on top of the earth, on the surface of the earth, you're more outward. You're looking around, you're looking at what the big picture. When you go into inner earth, you automatically find yourself going within. And now you're in your soul space. That's where you go. You go in. You don't find the need to have conversation and really talk with your mouth. In fact, what was happening with us was we were sitting there. We didn't know this. We were just experiencing it as we were experiencing it. We didn't have anybody giving us any pointers or tips. But when we all sat there inside one of these openings, we just kind of looked at each other nobody was really talking. And we were communicating, we found ourselves communicating just by our eyes and our hearts. And it wasn't that we were sitting there trying to be woo-woo, like, oh, let me communicate with my eyes and my heart with you. It wasn't that. We just happened to look at each other, and just by looking at each other, we knew we had an interaction. What it was had no words. It wasn't propelled by words. We weren't trying to make words with our eyes or our heart. It was just that we happened to look at each other and we felt something. And what you feel in the communication is a soul-to-soul communication and a heart connection, a true heart connection, just laced and infused with love. And that is the communication. It's amazing. It just keeps reminding me of Atlantis, of how it must have been there. And it was beautiful. So anyway, when you go into, if you were going to go on that journey, you need to be in that soul space and really take that journey. And if you go into that soul space, it'll all be amazing. And in fact, it won't be that physical climbing through, can I get through this hole? Which way do I go next? I believe you can transcend, you can shape shift or go right through rocks, dimensional doorways. You don't need the physical opening. So that's what I'm talking about when I said the underground people. I feel like they could shapeshift, or I don't even know if that's the word, but go through physicality with their bodies through using their soul space spirit. And that's really the state you want to be in if you decide you want to go on this sort of journey. Because otherwise, if you're trying to do it from a human standpoint, that can be a whole horror movie in the making. Because now you're going to deal with the whole food issue. You're going to deal with I've got to be out by Tuesday because I got to go see my kids, or how do I, oh my gosh, am I going to find my way out? But if you go in with your soul spirit, you're going to go right through those physical barriers like they're nothing, and you'll actually reach that inner earth. And I get that there are actually levels that you go through that you need to not pass like an initiation, but there's definitely levels that you would go to meet with, the civilization down there. And just at the level of your vibration and what you could handle until you were ready to go to the next level. So it would just depend on you how fast you'd go on to the next levels and really what is included in those levels. But my first sense is they don't just let anybody go down there. And my second sense, and a big sense is, if we were introduced to that opening, it's for a reason. Okay? But I believe you've got to take it in steps. But I told them, if you go in there, you don't know when you're coming back, and you don't know, and you've got to be in the right state of, I don't want to say state of mind, because you don't really want to be in your mind. You want to be in your spirit space. And who knows, once you get there, you might feel like it feels so good you ain't coming out again. So your whole life would change. Your whole entire life would be different if you chose that path. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, or it would be enhanced, or you'd want to stay there, or you'd want to come out, or what. All I'm saying is your whole life would completely change, because you would be experiencing a part of you that you've never experienced before. And to me, just knowing that, going in there and going into that inner soul heart space that we dealt with, it was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful experience. So who knows what you'd open up to. So anyway, when we were there, we decided to stay in this one area. After I told them the story, they all kind of got scared, like, oh, well, I really do need to get back. I don't know if I'm ready for that journey yet. But it wasn't to scare anybody, but it was just to make make yourself aware of really what you're getting into. It's not just like, ooh, the inner earth, let's go down there, They don't need a bunch of spectators coming through. It's something, it's a journey. It's a journey of the inner soul, if that's where you want to go. So definitely it feels like the door is open for us if that's something we want to do. But you just want to think about what you're doing. So we all stayed in this area, and we started to do some ohms. And so we would like ohm like 3 times, and then we'd stop. And it was incredible what happened next. So we ohmed, and we were just doing that just to feel like, because we were feeling this amazing space, right? So the first time we did it, we ohmed, and when we stopped, and about 2 seconds later, we feel this huge surge of energy coming up from the core of the earth. I mean, we knew definitely it was coming from the depths of the earth. It was coming up like this huge, strong shaft of energy, and it came right up through our whole, I mean, through us and around us, the whole group, and went right up through us, and it felt like it was such a strong surge that our hair could have been standing on edge. And we went, whoa! Like, we were like, what? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Like, because it totally caught us off guard. We weren't expecting that. So we said, okay, let's do it again. So we did it again, and then we finished, and we're kind of just waiting there for a couple seconds, and again, whoosh! And I just want to see if I can recreate that whoosh for you through the screen. I mean, it just went through us. And the second time it was even stronger. And we went, whoa! Like, we were like so amazed, and it felt so good. And we knew without a doubt that we were communicating with the underground people, and they knew we were there. And they were communicating back to us, we know you're there, and we're sending you our blessings. And it was like this brother and sisterhood of connection. It was amazing. So then, of course, we had to do it again, because we make jokes, we're energy whores. So we had to do it again, because this was incredible. So again, this time we do our ohms again, and then we wait just like 2 seconds, and then again, this time, the third time, it's even stronger, this whoosh, and it comes up all the way through us, and I mean, seriously, our hair could have been just standing on end. It was so strong and so amazing. And we're like, whoa! All of us were like, whoa! And it was just incredible. Totally incredible. That was like such an amazing experience to have that connection directly with the underground people and know that we are welcome into their space, that we totally get the respect. And that we know that if we found that space that we are invited in, we can always go there and connect back with them. And with our Shasta trips, we don't always bring every group there. It's strange. It's like, not that we're saying, oh, this group's going and that group's not going. I mean, we're totally guided as to who we're supposed to bring there. It's a guided thing. So the underground people, I mean, it's a huge subject, and I've already been going on for 3 minutes and 33 seconds here on it. And I hope I gave you some interesting information, but you know, I just find that on our journeys, me, Homer, and I being AI, not me, Homer, and I. Me, Homer, and another woman, I. We really, we're so connected to so many things. We're connected to the angels and the underground people and the seraphim and the ancient Egyptians and so on and so forth. We just have a lot of deep-rooted connections, and it's not like we're chasing all the information. It's just we travel a lot and we have a lot of experience. So it's just amazing that, you know, as we continue our journeys, these things open up more and more to us. I mean, the first time we went to Shasta is much different from what it is now. I mean, when we first started going there, I was like, you know, this is nice, but Sedona is really cool. And now Shasta kicks butt over Sedona. I mean, I don't know how. That really shocks me. I love Sedona, definitely. But, and we deal with a lot of aliens there. That's alien headquarters to me. I mean, they're calling me back, so I got to go back in October 2012. I'm doing another journey there, the October 20th through the 22nd, because alien headquarters is calling me back. They want to have a meeting with me in person. So we've had some incredible experiences there, that's for sure. And we do those late at night in Boynton Canyon, and boy, we've had some experiences, some real tangible experiences. But Shasta, it's many vortexes spinning around there. It's so powerful. Everywhere we go, on the mountain and off the mountain, she is always in view. Every area we go, we could be in the city next door, but we look up and she's right there supporting us, right there beaming us, like always looking over our shoulder. And it's this incredible energy that she has, that it feels like she's following you, she's guiding you, and her powers are so deep and transforming. In 3 days on our spiritual journeys there, your life changes. And we do ceremony, which really shifts things, because in ceremony you're really setting that intention to make things happen. And she's right there supporting. And mainly Mount Shasta to me is all about the heart, all about the heart chakra, the heart opening, the heart healing. And we really, really transform our soul, because that's where our soul is. Our soul is right here, okay, between our heart and our throat, but very heart-centered. And that's where we work. And we get really deep, and we really learn how to free up our energy and forgive, and learn to love ourselves and cherish our lives and who we are. And we really have the support there of Shasta, the underground people, the aliens, the sacred ancient Indians that support us, our spirit guides, and oh my gosh, the ascended masters. Mother Mary is so Mount Shasta. We work with her a lot, in fact. And so of course Jesus goes along with Mother Mary, and then we always laugh and go, but what about Joseph? So that's kind of our little joke. So of course we talk about Joseph too, but definitely Saint Germain. And he was actually said to be spotted there physically, and he's a magician, a little Merlin himself that just kind of appears out of nowhere. And I've seen other ascended masters there, like Joel Kuhl. So definitely the ascended masters are so in touch with that mountain too. They're very much a big part of it. So there's just so much power there. So much. Our last journey, like 3 weeks ago, we had actual connection and interaction with a spaceship when we were on the mountain at night. They really contacted us and interacted with our whole group, and it was really, really powerful. I just felt like it was this huge thank you for all the work we do. But anyway, I guess that's all I'm going to talk about the underground people right now. I could go on and on and on and on, but I just wanted to actually give you an experience for you to kind of just feel it, to feel the mountain, feel the clearing, feel the love, feel the power. And I'm sure I'll talk about it some more in the future. But if you ever want to experience really feeling it and experiencing her on the most deepest levels, come to one of our Mount Shasta transformational journeys, because it's actually a priceless experience. It's a 3-day experience. We're actually going again the last weekend of September. I think it's the September 29th, 30th, and October 1st, something like that. 2012. It's well worth it. www.healingyoursoul.com. And thank you for listening. And hey, we'll have more topics soon. So subscribe to this channel so you get updates of my new videos. And share this on your Facebook. Please help people get to know who I am so more people can be enlightened with my work. And friend me on Facebook. My name's Cindy Eyler, and I look forward to interacting with you more. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Angel blessings and lots of love. See you later.